It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host, Ben. Now let's dive in. Just try and scoot up, make myself more comfortable there. So, everybody freaking out. It's the end. It's the end of the world of cryptos. It's all over with because of that one little tell. And as I was saying, we needed to give it more time. See if, all these coins are going to rebound. Bitcoin rebounding nicely. Pushed over 43,000 earlier. Still over 42.5. Does need to break back above this 10-day moving average soon. Like sometime this week. Because I'd say we're still probably going to have another little pullback or something or another. And consolidate here. But as long as that happens, then we're going to see Bitcoin come on back up. May be a while before we see it back up to 60,000, but I'd say we'll see it struggle with 45 again, struggle with 50,000, and it'll be like that February, March area that I've been talking about. As of now, still needs more time, but very strong sign there that it's not ready to drop as buyers have continued to come in and still holding it up. Same thing on Ethereum. Didn't even get close to the trend line. Had that one little dip, but bought up, and Ethereum's pushed all the way up to 32 and a half, actually a little bit more, 32.68, and has pulled back a little bit. So both of them showing some signs that they're not ready to give up yet. More than likely, I think we're going to hold up at this point. We still could drop. It is still a possibility till we get back over these 10-day moving averages and get kind of moving in a bullish direction. A drop is always a possibility, but I think we're looking good. See multiple coins up today. On my list, Tribe is up 21%. Let's just go ahead and pull up Coinbase and look at the top gainers over there. What's up, Lauren? Yeah, I know. It's kind of silly the way I do things, but I think I'm doing it the right way. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, here we go. So, yeah, Tribe is the top coin today. Rary, Polygon Matic getting a rebound, so we can hop into those. Check them out. Kava, that Cosmos ecosystem coin, it's up today, 12%. Tribe is not one I really follow, but it just looks like it may have confirmed a new uptrend or the start of an uptrend. Let's get that out of there. So if Tribe is one you're looking at, as long as it can hold this uptrend, which it bounced pretty hard off of this price area all the way up to $1.10, as long as it holds that uptrend, it could continue to move. But that's a bullish sign, out of this altcoin here popping up with that hard of a rebound. Polygon Matic, this one, as I've been saying, is bullish. It already broke out of this triangle. I actually picked some Polygon up last night because I saw that it was holding and looked like it was going to close above that $2 area. I think I got it like $2.15 or something. And so you see Polygon pushing back up to $2.40 here. Pretty good sign. If it does get stopped here, it would be a start of a downtrend. A new downtrend, which possibly can mean a triangle breakout. We don't know that for sure yet. We'll see how it closes today and then how Polygon opens tomorrow. Because if Polygon just continues to climb, then that downtrend won't be there. But that is a possibility for the next day or two if we don't see it pop over 240. And 250 was very, very strong resistance for Matic in the past multiple times. So expect it again to be very strong resistance. You really want pudding? That's a strange request. Unfortunately, I cannot help you with that. Let's see, what is this here? LPT. So this line that I was trying to draw before did not hold. Looks more like that support area is at 32. The LPT does have an uptrend. This thing has been uptrending for over a year. And when it had its initial big rip, it ripped up to 100. So this is another altcoin showing that maybe it's done with its sell-off or getting close to. Ribbon, look at these stair steps. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful, beautiful looking play right at the moment on this daily chart. This looks like a perfect trend line bounce. And last time it got stuck at $5. Could get stuck at 5 again, but from 315, 325 up to $5 would be quite a move. Let's actually look at this on a smaller time frame. See how close this is looking like it may possibly break out here. So this is the 1 hour. And this is today. So we just started having this little pullback, but it's testing the 10-day moving average. First time it's crossed over today, over the 50, this blue line. Yeah, if it could break 350, then we could see it possibly up to 5. Lot of resistance on this 1 hour chart. A lot of candles right through that area, hitting around 345 and 350. This one is I've looked at it before because it's a recent coin that I noticed that was on Coinbase. But it is low supply. So just be aware, if it does drop here down to the trend line again, that's what is that? 15, almost 25 cents that it could come down, and if it cracks the trend line, 250 would be next support. But interesting, again, another one looking like it's just bouncing off of the trend line. So that doesn't look very bullish. Or I mean, sorry, that doesn't look very bearish on the 1 hour chart nor the daily chart. That thing held up a very strong area. I'm going to actually move this to a higher watch. I'm going to put this on to a purple watch. I'm redoing some of my watch list, so some of the colors may not make sense. Some of them might. Polkadot had cracked below the trend line, but Polkadot holding up 23.5, it looks like. Pretty strong support there. All the way back through here. If it can hold on top of this trend line, if it hold above 25, Polkadot could get going again. It does have this, this downtrend here. But very close to the tip of this downtrend, so it just needs to pop over 26, 27 to break it. And again, ribbon actually almost looks the same, just an uptrend. We're just bouncing off of an uptrend area. This looks like the start of another pivot point, just like back here. Actually, I can adjust the trend line a little bit, make it a little bit more accurate, like that. There we go. Yeah, all those points are meeting up nicely there. So all these plays that look like this, that are uptrending and they tested the trend line and they've held up so far, now they just need to break the short-term downtrends. And look at that on Polkadot. That's a pretty steep downtrend. Polkadot's a strong project from what I know of it, which I'm not super adept in the Polkadot ecosystem, but I know a little bit. Definitely interesting there. ACLX, nothing really going on with that. But we can see all down through here, a lot of green, a lot of things up 4 and 5%. Things moving up at the moment. Let's see, Ocean's at 5. Yeah, see, that just started moving up a little bit. Let's go check out the Cosmos ecosystem. Oh, yeah, Cosmos had another push to 40. 40 is holding as resistance, but not too far away from pushing through that, because we did hold above the 10-day moving average. Let's see on a shorter time frame if Cosmos may break out here. Oh, look at that. That's a 3-hour chart. I want to go to 1 hour. There we go. So here is the pattern that I'm seeing in the short term for Cosmos. Strong support at $35 now that we broke back above it. Because if I run this line all the way back, which actually, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's change the line here. Oh, come on, get out of here. Come on. Let's see. 35 is right there. Okay, so short term, we're looking at, yeah, look, it just rejected 2 on this hour, so confirming this little downtrend. We're looking at Cosmos probably coming back down again to 35, maybe 36, and then trying to break out. I don't think this is going to break out tonight. It is a possibility if buying keeps coming in. That could be, we could see a breakout. But there's that $35 line, and you can see how many candles on the daily chart also were hitting at that area. This one here hitting it and getting smashed right back down. And then that previous dip from yesterday getting just ate up by buyers, pushing it back up over 35. So Cosmos looking pretty good, and all of that ecosystem getting a little bit of action today. Let's see. Oh, I got some comments. Sorry, let me get up here to some of these comments. Hello, Sophia. What's up, Crypto J Lover? Appreciate that. Appreciate the subscribe. That's awesome, man. So let's check out Axie, some of our NFT plays that we're keeping an eye on. Shut up, phone. Don't you interrupt me. Axie has sold off really hard. As I was talking about yesterday, it may not be able to rebound. It may be losing its dominance to other NFT games. It's trying to rebound. It's trying to hold 68, it looks like, which is kind of an odd number for it to try to hold. I want to say it's more of 65. Yeah, let's move this line down to 65. Yeah, see back there, it held up as support through there, tried to hold through here, but ended up cracking and then came back up and ended up exploding. So yeah, that should be the bottom for Axie unless it's losing dominance. If it's losing dominance, then we could see it lower. But with everything else bouncing, I kind of expect Axie to bounce as well. Gods token, Gods was looking really strong when it had that push up, but got slammed down. Even though it got slammed below 3, which I did not want to see it under 3 because it made a new low for the first time. I mean, the coin's only been out since October 29th, so it's only been out less than 3 months. But still, I didn't really want to see it make a new low. However, they did announce that the game has grown to 72,000 players. That is a lot of players. And if players continue to hold coins, which at the moment seems like a lot of them are selling, I think the staking is going to kick in. Hopefully, Gods can get that out soon because they need something. Because the Gods token does not have all the utility that it's going to have at the moment. So it's getting devalued by that fact. So I really want to see staking come out soon, or at least like an announcement of exactly when staking is going to come out. But as I've said before, I'm really bullish on this project. So I am going to continue to hold the tokens that I've acquired. Just maybe not on this position where I was trying to swing it, because I am down a little bit since I got in at 325. I really was not expecting it to drop below 3. But kind of making a double bottom. And you see it on the 15-minute here on Coinbase. There's that bottom there and then a second little bottom. And it's rebounded and just been going sideways. So not a lot of buying volume coming into it. But it is trying to hold up. So we'll see what happens with it. And it could be maybe running in sympathy with Axie. Because Axie is the big NFT coin. I think probably the most expensive one, or at least that I know of. So that could be another thing that I have not thought about that may be affecting it. It may be kind of running with the NFT pack at this point. Hard to say. We'll see. Gods, we're going to be monitoring it close because I play the game and I get paid out in Gods tokens for playing the game and the NFT market. That's the strangest thing. Like the NFT market for Gods hasn't dropped that much. And actually prices have already started going back up on the NFTs. So the value is there. It's just people are not wanting to hold Gods for some reason. I don't know. That's fine with me. Continue to drop the price. Like I said before, I'll buy it all up. Another nice rebound, though, besides some of the NFTs trying to rebound. Solana down here at 135 was, well, 140 may even still be a really good deal as it is trying to hold up that support. And you already see where I've got the prediction drawn at. So Solana holds up and bounces. Solana, it pulled back $130. That's a big pullback. Of course, the initial run was a huge run. But I think Solana, especially with the staking you can get with the liquid P staking, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago in one of the live streams. But yeah, you get liquid MSOL in place of your Solana that you're staking that you can then put in liquidity pools and make even more money off of that original Solana coin that you put into the staking. So it has a lot of potential just in that one tokenomic alone, because the only other chain like I've talked about is Persistence that is doing the liquid staking, or at least this far along. So Solana is also a very easy chain and ecosystem to launch apps and dApps and other chains on or with tokens. It's easy to launch a token on Solana. I don't know if you can make other chains with Solana. I think Solana is like Ethereum. Everything is on the Solana chain, layer 1, and then all those things would be considered level 2s. I believe I would be, or not level 2s, layer 2s. I don't know. If you know a lot more than a Solana than me, then correct me on that if I'm wrong. But again, another downtrend that's got to break before it does start to make that move up. That's why I think it may take a little bit. That's why I have this prediction drawn out to about February 5th or 6th before it actually starts moving up again for a breakout. Because for now, it's just going to have to consolidate and confirm 135 as support, and then get above 150 and confirm it as support as well. Let's see, Lauren, you said you think it is a long-term sell-off from new players that aren't investing. I do think that's part of it because the game is growing so fast with Gods Unchained. New players, they're not going to probably understand, or they might not even read the white papers, or possibly they might not even know it's a blockchain game. Like, blockchain is not the easiest thing to realize and understand if you've never messed with it. So if they just ran across the game and didn't really research it and just started playing it, and then they found out, oh, I've got these Gods tokens, they absolutely be like, oh, I'm just going to sell these. That could be happening. But I think that's what I'm saying. We need to see the staking. The staking and the governance is going to be the big deal for the Gods token to have its full utility, and then the mobile version of the game itself should be the final bow tie on top of the explosive time bomb in a Christmas box or whatever. I think it's only a matter of time for Gods, and that supply, again, you're going to continually hear me to repeat this. The top total supply, the max supply of Gods token is 500 million. Now, Shiba still riding down this downtrend. Got to break above that downtrend. If not, it's just going to keep riding down it. So that, we could see Shiba start to get some of the Doge treatment. I'm curious to see if Doge has rebounded any at all. I do want to mention about Doge, because I haven't talked about Doge in a long time, because if you've been following me, I was saying that this was going to happen because it just is not a good coin. As long as there is no cap, there is going to be endless supply, which means that this thing can never get to a price level and hold it as support. Even if all kinds of people buy Dogecoin and Elon Musk tweets about it and tweets about it, it may have spikes, but as you can see, it has not held any spikes. It's not held anything. It has continued to downtrend for over a year now since the initial rip. Now I'm looking at a Coinbase chart. I have to go to like Binance or something to see a bigger chart. Still, the point being that no supply cap is a bad thing. That is going to be a curse to Dogecoin as long as it doesn't have a cap. It just is not going to be able to hold because the supply will continue to outweigh the demand. They screwed up really bad with that tokenomic. I don't know how they were planning on making this a currency with no rarity to it. No cap. It doesn't make any sense. What's up, Ruben? Everyone quick download the SHIB pedometer and burn tokens while walking. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's why I like Shiba way more than Dogecoin, because Shiba has a cap, and Shiba is also burning the supply. I've not heard of Dogecoin burning any of their supply. And again, even if they do, there's just going to be more Dogecoin come into supply. So they'd have to burn Dogecoin faster than the amount of supply that the smart contract allots out of the Dogecoin minter process. I don't know how that's set up. God, Cardano all the way back down to $1, and it does not look like it is rebounding that well. It hasn't done anything since the end of 2020. Or wait, no, hold on a second. Oh, I'm sorry, the end of 2021. Still getting used to the year change. It has been just downtrending, downtrending, downtrending. It's trying to hold this support, but through some wicks down, some lower lows. There is a lot of support in this area, and the dollar is a strong psychological line. But Cardano's just falling behind so much. I just don't think they're ever going to be able to make it back. B-Chain. What's up, Abdul? Rev Motorsport, REVV. This is a crypto. Let's see if I can pull up this thing. Rev. First, let's not go to Yahoo. Damn, the internet browser always trying to go to Yahoo. I just talked about Solana Rubin. You just missed it. Rev Motorsport. We'll check this thing out in just a second. So, okay, looks like this may be a racing game. Okay, I'm interested. I'm gonna check it out here. We'll see what we got. But yeah, I don't know. Even if Cardano does hold up, like I said, it's falling behind. Rubin Solana's got to hold the support line. It's holding so far above 135. It's got to hold, break back above 150, and then to hold 150 as support, and it can then try to break out of this triangle. But I think Solana is pretty. I mean, it seems like a good deal to me at 135. I haven't picked any up yet, but I'm tempted to. I'm just waiting another day or two to see if it is going to hold these areas. Because I'd like to add some more to my Solarflare staking wallet so I can actually put a decent amount in a little liquidity pool and get that staking interest. VeChain, right here is VeChain. So VeChain, VeChain not looking so hot. Tried to make that rebound, couldn't do it. Those are the two paths I predicted. It started on the red path and then tried to break back above. It should have held there, and it didn't. So it tried to even get back above it again, and that was what, January 5th? And it couldn't get back above it again, so sold off even more. It's not a good sign for VeChain. Looking like it may crack out of this big consolidation triangle, but there is a little support right across there. Come on, I thought I had the other thing still. Boom. Boom. Right in, like, what is this? Let's see. The bottom of it right now is right at 7 cents. That may hold. But the better support looks like 6 cents. Let me move the uptrend for the moment. Yeah, I don't know. It may hold here, but if it doesn't, it's going to come down at that 6 cent area. And that has a better shot of holding. Like on the weekly chart, this is going to look like a big wedge pattern. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of work to do. Like that VeChain might not see some upward momentum till maybe February late, and then maybe March. But even then, it'll just, I don't know. Look at that weekly. It looks like it's just got a lot of work. I want to see another week or two of VeChain before I really say, because that last prediction, it's looking more to the bearish side, possibly. We'll see. It's just not enough time yet. Let me go back into this daily chart. Yeah, because even now, if we go into a 1 hour chart, let's see if it's got any type of buying coming in. Yes, this thing is making lower lows and lower high, or no highs at all. Yeah, lower highs, lower lows. So in the short term, this, which is kind of trying to break now, may be starting to turn around. This is the first time the 10-day has been across the 50-day. You see the blue 50-day, that little 10-day green line, 10-day moving average. First time it's been above that 50 since it crashed on the hour chart. It may be all right. We'll see. If it continues to push up and gets back above 8 cents tonight or tomorrow, then it might be all right there. Like it just started to try to reverse, like literally in probably the last hour or two. All right, let's check out this Rev Motorsport here and see what this is about. So you got to have a MetaMask. This is built on the Ether blockchain. Enter the world of blockchain motorsport today. That is definitely interesting. You can use Uniswap to swap it with DAI or USD Tether. It's play to earn. All the titles in Rev Motorsport ecosystem are based around the concept of play to earn. Okay, well, you know about that. So we have Grand Prix and Time Trial. You can compete for weekly rewards. Sprint sessions, short events with top 100 players competing for prizes. This is kind of neat. Grand tournaments, which allow over 1,000 winners in week-long events with Rev and NFTs up for grabs. Buy, collect, and trade limited print Moto GP ignition cards. Total supply 300 billion, so not a terribly high supply. Initial allocation. Let's see. Rev has been pre-allocated to the first titles. Okay, so these first two right here are the two different, or two of the games. Yeah, Delta Time, and then what's that one? MotoGP. And there's MotoGP. That's their collectible. So those two were spent on building the game. Since it says you can play them, I'm going to see if we can play them. They have they have a lot in reserves. 43% of the supply in reserves. So almost half the supply. Then 10% in teams and advisors, which is 300 million coins. And then the reward reserve is only 8%. I'm a little concerned by the heaviness of the supply on the advisors and the reserve side. That's a lot of just a lot of extra that they could dump on people. I want to see their supply release schedule of that reserves, or what their plan is. So Delta Time is allocated into 4 rev pools: the game operations, which is half of it. See, they've only got 30 million in staking. So what is their APR? It can't be that much because they're going to run out of coins for staking unless they can mint, or unless they're going to pull it from reserves. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's not making sense. So it is available on a lot of different exchanges, however. Not on Coinbase or Voyager. A lot of decentralized exchanges. Uniswap, SushiSwap, Chiliz. I think Paraswap is decentralized. Bitrex is not. Qcoin is definitely centralized, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. So there's the advisors. So they do have a big team of advisors. They just have a big team all together for this game. Okay, this is Animoca Brands. It's a leader in the field of digital entertainment. Trying to publish a broad portfolio of mobile products, including games such as Sandbox, Crazy Kings, Crazy Defense Heroes, as well as products utilizing popular intellectual properties such as Formula One, Marvel, Garfield, Snoopy, Thomas and Friends, Power Rangers, MotoGP, Doraemon, Animoca Brands' portfolio of blockchain investments and partnerships can include Lucid Sight, Dapper Labs, which was the creators of CryptoKitties, Wax, Harmony, and Decentraland. So they are partnered with Decentraland. It's interesting. And Harmony, I don't know if that's Harmony 1 or a different one. The company is based in Hong Kong, United States, South Korea, Finland, Argentina, and Czech Republic. So what I want to know is more about this Animoca Brands, or Animoca Brands. I'm not sure how you say it, because this is not centralized. If this is owned, like they said, this is a game in their blockchain portfolio, which is why I was saying I'm kind of concerned about these reserves. This may not be, I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's not truly decentralized. So here we go. Staking version 3.0 is now live. There is a rev pool available for both 2019 and 2020 car owners. We have another token. Shard token, the new play to earn token in Rev Motorsport, is now earnable in F1 Delta time. The amount of Shard token earned is based entirely on the length of track you are completing on. Plus 2020 key holders will get a Shard airdrop. So they have the initial coin, the Rev coin, and then actually it's Rev token, so that's a token as well. So this is a problem. This is what I don't want to see in decentralized gaming and play to earn games. All this is more than likely, let's just find out. Let's find out about Animoca Brands. But this just sounds like a corporation trying to cash in on the idea of play-to-earn games. Yeah, they've got subsidiaries and everything. Who owns Animoca Brands? Yatsui was founded in 2014, and the headquarters are in Hong Kong. So how much are they worth? Looks like they had about 15.9 billion at the end of November 21st, a more than five-fold increase in only 2 months. Yeah, here's another. Animoca Brands treasury increased in value by 5x over 2 months. Is this a public company, though? Are they on a stock market? Let's go to their website. What I'm concerned is this being you know, like EA Sports trying to come in and do something like, you know, EA Sports, when they get into blockchain, they may already be, I don't know. But if you're any type of gamer, you know EA Sports is going to be with the bullshit. And I'm kind of getting the same vibe off of this. Shareholder, yeah, okay. Let's see. Interesting. So they were on the Australian Securities Exchange, but they are no longer listed there. See, now we're starting to dive a little bit deeper. We're finding some interesting things about the backers of this play to earn. This is why I like Gods Unchained, because Gods Unchained does not have this type of stuff behind it. It's Immutable Clay, who is one of the main people behind it, who came from a corporate background. I think Immutable Clay is the one who worked for Magic the Gathering. He's one of the developers there. But he started it to where Gods is decentralized. Because what I want to see, I'm not seeing anything about voting either on proposals of the game. It's an interesting idea, but I'm not liking the backing at the moment. And I could be totally wrong about this. You know, it's very possible. I haven't done enough research. But just seeing some of this stuff. Let's see this press kit. Yeah, the Sandbox is one of their subsidiaries. It's not just a partner or anything. They actually own the Sandbox. They employ 527 people. Yeah, you can see all their games there. I mean, it's... Let's look at some more stuff. I'm not gonna pass judgment on this yet, but I'm not feeling it. Let's see, Fortmatic, so that's your wallet that you got to create. And let's see here. You got to put in your phone number, so it's simple wallet creation basically. I don't own. If you own I don't own any cryptocurrency. Can I still play? Yes. If you own a valid credit card, you'll be able to make purchases. So you can buy purchases off of this with a credit card. So there, look at that. I don't know. I mean, if you're playing it and you're getting paid out in it, then that could be good. But me being a decentralized crypto advocate, it just makes me a little concerned because it doesn't feel very decentralized at all. The time trial elite has ended. Let me see. Is there... No, you have to create a whole account and everything. I don't want to do all that. Different challenge every week. Let's just run through all this real quick. So there's the time trials. Deposit and keys. It's the official Formula One blockchain game. So, okay, let me take. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of things we missed. Real quick, let me take my bias out of here for the decentralized crypto advocateness. Let me put that to the side. From an investor standpoint, I could see how this can be an appetizing investment. It's very possible that it could become something, and the Rev token be worth something. They do have a lot of backing. There's a lot of partners, a lot of different things like that going on. Let's see this actual chart and see what's been happening with it. So that is the end of 2020. We had an initial big run up. This is just looking like a lot of the other crypto charts, really. Got kind of that downtrend somewhere like that. Had some pops up. And then we have like a slight possible uptrend. But really the uptrend was there and it cracked below the uptrend. Yeah, it's bearish too. Look how bearish this is. Pulled way down, 10-day, way below the 50. The price has actually got a decent amount of space between the 10-day and the 50. I'm sorry, between the 10-day and the actual candle tops. This thing has made some big moves in the past. This move, the original move was 6 cents all the way up to 64 cents, which is a great return. And then there's another one where it ran about not quite as high, but still a big run. And then that last little big run. Okay, the chart's interesting. Let's pull up CoinGecko and see what CoinGecko is showing. Let's see what the actual circulating supply right now is. Rev is number 830 on the market cap list, I believe, or maybe that's the popularity list. 18,966 people like this. So right now, the circulating supply is 221 million. So it's a very low supply coin at the moment, which is why it's getting those big spikes. However, remember, there is 1.3 billion in reserves and another few billion that they have their hands on. If they wanted to, they could dump the hell out of this thing. Because that would be, 13x, or not 13x, but 7x the supply that they would be adding, which would be, it'd be crazy. Okay. So that's pretty much all we got on that. It is up 10% on the day. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting game. Maybe a decent play to earn opportunity. I don't know if you've played it. Let me know. I'm not in the... Wait, maybe... Is this Sandbox? Yeah, it is Sandbox. I just wanted to make sure that it was the right Sandbox that I was thinking of. That there wasn't some other weird token. So... A lot of people are big on Sandbox, but same type of deal. I mean, it's owned by this company, so you got to kind of have some trust in Animacos or whatever it's called. You got to have some trust in them to be able to deal with it. Let's see. Do I think Gods token is good invest or no? It definitely is not going to be like SLP and go to zero. The only way that Gods token would go to zero is if everybody stopped playing Gods. And there's going to be staking and governance soon, and it's going to go on to mobile. So there's not really any reason why Gods would just stop existing. In fact, it's already almost back up to 3 now. Look at here. back up to 290 so far. So it's trying to pull back above 3. If we get that pull back above 3, it'll be all right. But I have plenty of content on Gods, my thoughts on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, just subscribe and check out those videos. And I'm constantly putting out Gods. And I'm working on becoming an official content creator for Gods. You know, it takes some time. I got to wait for the Gods community manager to get back to me on that. But I'm behind Gods just because I think the way they've set up their blockchain ecosystem, the way they've set up the tokenomics, just everything about it they have done, and the game itself. Like the racing games are cool, the shooter games are cool. It's cool that you can own those in-game items. But what sets Gods apart is the TCG element. And we've seen in previous history, TCGs will get very popular. Sometimes they die off. But if they do become very popular, they have a consistent player base. And with Gods building that player base as of now, we're at such a small level. 70,000 I don't think is going to be the top of amount of Gods player base. You know, when it comes to mobile and it's global, we're looking at millions of people. And all we need to see is 1 million people or 2 million people constantly play the game for a very long time, and the ecosystem will continue to build out and continue on. You don't need the whole entire world to embrace a project for the project to go up in value. You just need enough people to embrace it and continue to build it. Because if you're looking at a game like Gods Unchained or Rev or DERC, Ruben's one of his favorites, which is a horse racing game. If you haven't checked out DERC, check that one out. It's an interesting project. But we're seeing a lot of these pop up, and you know they're at cheap prices. Axie ran all the way up over $100 from a cheap price because it got to a pretty decent sized player base. There's not a billion people playing Axie. And I don't even know how many are actually playing Axie. Let's actually go to Axie and check. I haven't checked Axie Infinity in a while. So let's just go see. If I can, maybe, let's see. Let's see if I can Google it real quick. Maybe Google will tell me. Player base, Axie Infinity. Player count and statistics. So we have activeplayer.io. This is interesting. Let's see how accurate this is, or up to date. Let's see if it's up to date at all. Yeah, so yeah, the last 30 days, it's up to date. Active daily players, 2.3 million. So if Gods is at 72,000 and it goes up to 2.3 million player base, then that means more people holding the NFTs, more people who will probably want to hold the Gods token, especially when staking comes available. 70,000 to 2 million people is a big amount of growth. So there's still a ton of growth in Gods. There's still a ton of growth in DARC. Axie is just the front runner of all the NFT games because it is the highest price one. However, Gods, like I said earlier, and I said I was going to continue to repeat, Gods only has a supply of 500 million. It's not like Rev where there's 220 million out there and they have another 1.3 billion in reserves. No, there's a cap, a hard cap on Gods, 500 million. They purposely did that because they want their player base to be able to play the game and provide a living. And some people are already doing that. There are people who are strictly playing this game in the mythic rankings who are just playing it and making enough in Gods tokens and selling NFTs to make some nice money. Because some of these NFTs, especially if you get like a higher quality one, a shadow or a gold or a diamond or something, you might be able to sell that for a few grand. Somebody might want to buy that because we're seeing people want to start building decks that are all the same quality NFT. Because again, Gods Unchained Dev Team has said if you play with a deck that is all NFT quality, and the higher quality it is, you will get paid extra Gods tokens during events and things like that. So there's a lot of growth. And unless Gods player base goes down, then I don't see Gods going to zero. Like if Gods continues to grow like Axie did, it may be down now, but in another year, it easily could be up to $10, $20, something like that, depending on how it continues to grow. And that's the same thing with DERC and Project Quantum and all these other NFT projects we've been looking at. It's going to depend on the player base. It's all supply and demand. So you're going to have a demand for all the NFT cards in the Gods market. And you're going to have demand for Gods token. Which if we go from 70,000 people in the player base to 1 million people in the player base, that's a lot more demand. That's, what? About 13x demand. So let's see what else we got. Meta Coven owns the first NFT from them. I don't know who Meta Coven is, nor do I honestly care about what Meta Coven owns. That's not anything that would sway me investing or trading something as somebody else owning it. There's no telling why they own it. If somebody just because they own something doesn't mean that they value it. They might own it because somebody gave it to them, like Shiba and Vitalik, the Ethereum creator, Vitalik Butternick or Butternips, whatever his name is. I think they gifted him like a bunch of Shiba, and he was like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't want Shiba, and he just like turned around and sold it. that stuff can happen. So I'm definitely not going to look at what somebody else owns as any type of thesis for my own investing. Very nice. Yeah. You saw a meme that said it's 2025 and I just lent you 5 sheep so you can buy a Coke, LMAO. Well, if inflation continues to go up like it is by 2025, that 5 Shiba actually might be quite a bit of Shiba. That Coke may be an expensive Coke. All right, yeah, I'm trying to get in there with the Gods Unchained development team, or at least the community front of the development team, because I would like to work with them more. I'd like to get them on for interviews and things like that, which is possible. I got, the CEO of BTCS on the Framework Fortune Home channel twice, and he's actually coming in hopefully in the next couple of weeks for a third interview, because if you didn't know, if you're new to the channel, new to the brand, BTCS is a validator that is a public company on the stock market, and they are the first stock market NASDAQ listed company to announce a dividend payment option in Bitcoin. So traditionally, you would get your dividend payment in cash, and BTCS has broke ground with that. So it's definitely something interesting to check out if you do like adding some stocks to your investments, and you may want to still be in the crypto industry, because the idea of investing in a validator like that, like normally we delegate tokens to a validator, they hold the tokens and then pay us the interest while they're holding the tokens. Well, you don't have to give your tokens technically to anybody if you buy the shares of BTCS. You're going to get a dividend payment from them validating all those nodes, because they validate nodes for Ethereum and Cosmos and Polkadot. So that's a good point. Don't know exactly how to say your name, Stoffitsack. The forge can be adjusted, right? So the forge is only one utility of Gods tokens. They can't adjust Gods token, but they can adjust the cost of the forge. I'm betting behind the scenes it's just a smart contract that connects to a wallet or however they do it, and it gets pulled out that way, and it's probably not a completely locked contract with the forge, because it's either going to be like, if you pull up the forge, it tells you right now it costs 0.3 Gods tokens or whatever. Well, let's say Gods does go up to $20. They could change it from being 0.3 of a Gods token to 0.03 of a Gods token and still have the forge open and still be the same kind of value as it was before the $20 rip. So that is adjustable, I'm pretty sure, to the price of Gods. So it wouldn't change the supply, it wouldn't change anything for them to move a percentage with the forge cost and the price of Gods if it goes up like that. It was the highest selling NFT in 2019. That's cool. Oh, you can also buy NFT racetracks similar to land. NFTs like Decentraland. Yeah, see, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff, Abdul, about Rev. It's just, I would want to do a lot more research on Rev and behind the scenes, because that's a big company. Well, it's not like a huge company. 15 billion is not that much money for a corporation. But or that type of corporation, I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to be a little biased because I don't like the centralized idea for it. Yeah, I know. Oh, Metacoven is the person who paid for the Beeple NFT. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be any part of my investment thesis. Yikes. I mean, you know, you obviously like the project. You're really pushing it, and I appreciate all the value, you're giving to us by telling us about it and bringing it to the live stream here. That's why I took a look at it. And, maybe we'll take a look at it again in the future and dive into it some more if more people are interested, because I'm going to start, I think, cutting some of these projects we're looking at out to start a new series of like blockchain first looks or project first looks, something like that. And then from there, if those videos do well and people want to see more content of that project, whether it be NFT, DeFi, or whatever, then I'll make more video content on it. But Gods, I'm invested in fully myself. I think it's an amazing game and an amazing project altogether. And the dev team has really been awesome. Even during that crazy hack of Discord, the dev team held it together and ended up fighting off the hacker within a day. So yeah, no problem, man. Like, you know, it's hard to say. This is the thing going forward, and this is what I'll leave you guys with. There's only a certain amount of market cap in the world that can be reached unless we're just not measuring value anymore and we're just measuring off of pure speculation, which we are seeing a lot more of that with Wall Street bets and all that. But the point being, the more competition that comes into the space, the NFT space, the more we're going to see projects fluctuate in price like Axie Infinity. One thing about the gaming industry, you do get some very loyal player bases, but you also get a lot of short attention span people who will play a game for a month or two, get tired of it, and move to the next game. So we may see projects get big bounces or big spikes and then dump and then never do much ever again. The more competition that comes out, the more that this is going to happen. Not every single game is going to be able to survive, because it's not like a normal video game where it's just a corporation selling you a game. You are buying pieces of the game through the NFTs that are actually parts of the game itself. So if nobody's playing the game anymore, then that little piece of the game you own is not worth anything, right? So that's going to be one of the concerns moving forward that I have for a lot of NFT projects. Gods, Axie, some of those I think are in early enough and advanced early enough to where they may stick around a very long time. A lot of these new ones though are going to be hit or miss. But that's pretty much it for me today. I am getting this call I got to take. Hold on just. Damn, I was trying to answer. But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow morning on the Framework Fortune home channel for some live stock trading, and then back for the live crypto update over here at 4 p.m. Central. If you haven't yet, check out frameworkfortune.com. You can go sign up for free with your email and then get Discord access and come join us there, where we're looking at stocks, cryptos, gold, silver, playing Gods Unchained, and any other NFTs that anybody in the community might be playing. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time. Maybe.